But yes, I reviewed Wee Willie Winkie from I think 1935. I'm gonna look up to be exact. Pickles stinks. Pickles is okay. Harpies and vexing mimes, juggy times, but that's what it sounds like. I heard that it was movie review time. You're right. You're right, Stevie. It is. So yeah, Wee Willie Winkie. I might try to. I think doing reviews quick isn't bad. So maybe I'll try to just burn through the basics. But I mean, I'm gonna look up the Wikipedia because that might help me a bit. But yeah, this movie's super old from the 30s. It was free on YouTube. I watched it. I think like all these movies are public domain now. So that's cool if you want to watch them. Check out Wee Willie Winkie and all these other Shirley Temple films from the 30s where she's like the cute little girl and she gets into all sorts of cute shenanigans and antics. I haven't seen any other ones, but I would imagine there's like at least similar in structure. But anyway, Wee Willie Winkie, Wikipedia, but there's a Willie Winkie that's not the film, so I have to specify that it's a film. It's also like a cartoon or a nursery rhyme or something. Oh, and I gotta remember right now to switch what the category is. Real quick, we're no longer doing music. We are just chatting for a brief period. We're just chatting. But yes, Wee Willie Winkie. So I'll talk about the basic plot. So Shirley Temple is with her mom. I think this takes place when the UK, the United Kingdom, was occupying India. And so I'm gonna quickly nip this stuff in the bud. This is movies from the 30s. So there's gonna be some inappropriate displays of minorities and representation of minorities, specifically in this case, Indian people. And not only is there Indian people played by white people, but the few actual minorities that are there, they're not playing very respectful roles. They're playing sort of mischievous characters. But I'm not really holding this against the film because, again, it's from the 30s, before World War II. So, it was a different time. That's the way I sort of look at that. But definitely wouldn't be made today. But I wanted to get that out of the way. But that being said, for the time, this movie was actually sort of progressive. If you forget about all the racist sort of stuff, for the time it was progressive. Let me explain. Because the main focus is this little girl, Shirley Temple. She is she has interest in being in the army, and that was sort of unheard of at the time, of a woman being in the army. So it's sort of a progressive plot line, sort of. But I have problems with that, and I'll get into it. For one, they act like at the end. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. I'm probably gonna talk about the ending a bit here, but they act like. So the big conflict of this movie is obviously people from India and the British rule. It's specifically Scotland. They're all wearing kilts. They seem to be occupying this one part of India. I don't know how historically accurate this is. Also, I have no idea, but yeah, the UK, Scotland specifically, is occupying India, and they're at war with the locals, and you kind of see it from both sides. And to the movie's credit, they do at the beginning make the differentiation. They make it clear that because being a little girl, Shirley Temple she's curious. She's like, wait a minute, we're in India. So are these Indians like back home? And she's thinking of Native American Indians. And she figures it out. So to the movie's credit, they explain that yes, Columbus went to North America thinking that it was India, and he screwed up. So they do explain some of history, right? so I appreciated that. Um, but yeah, I gotta say this movie wasn't really my cup of tea. I didn't hate it. It's very old, and I'm not saying that I don't like old films. One of my favorite movies actually is from the '40s. It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Christmas movie also coming up Christmas times, but yeah, It's a Wonderful Life. King Kong. I like older movies, but this just was kind of boring. There's something that I have to mention about it though. There was a part that surprised me and it made me chuckle. Because this was not at all a slapstick comedy, but slapstick comedy, of course, existed in this time era. But so, like, in the middle of the film, it's this sort of like a drama comedy, sort of like a serious war comedy. Like, there was jokes, but there's only one real bit of slapstick, and it's in the middle. There's a part where there's this sort of bratty younger boy child that's sort of in the army. I guess he's trained to be a soldier, and he has some dogs, and Shirley Temple wants one of the dogs, and all the army men, they like Shirley Temple more, so they make a plan to steal the dogs. But before this, for some reason, he just punches his friend in the face, and he like does a flip and does this crazy sort of acrobatics, and he falls and gets hurt, and it's like, what, did we just slip into a slapstick movie, into the Three Stooges or something? It was kind of weird, but it was also funny. I like that part the most, probably. But yeah, I'm gonna try to really honk it on through to the end of this review, because I don't really have much else to say other than it was kind of boring. I already talked about how, the racial stereotypes, if this would not be made today, white people playing people from India, doesn't seem politically correct now. But anyway, I like this film sort of. Like, I didn't hate it, but it was kind of boring. I'll probably give it just slightly above 5 out of 10, because if people know my review system, my rating system, I have to really hate it for it to get below 5. So I don't think I have much else to say, honestly. I think we'll just wait. We didn't look at the Wikipedia yet, so we have it here. That this had a budget over $1 million. So in 1935, that would have been like decent, I guess. But now that's like a pretty low budget. And it was like 100 minutes, and I said 1935. Oh no, 1937. So I was wrong about that. 1937. But yeah, it was very. It's just. Well, I'm not the key demographic. Like, I'm not the audience. The key demographic audience that they were looking for when making this, I don't think. But, it was kind of fun. Like, it's sort of cute, but yeah, So I'm talking about the end where they act. I didn't say this part yet. They act like the little girl sort of like saves everyone, and she didn't really do much. I didn't feel like she did much. She was just sort of there, and they act. I guess it was a big deal because she's talking to this scary criminal, Cobra Khan, they call him. But I don't know. That part seemed silly to me. I didn't love this film. I didn't hate it. It was okay. I think I'm gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the last film, and then we'll go back to music. I see a lot of people have left, and that's okay. We're gonna get back. We'll get back to music in a bit, but yes, I'm gonna take off Willie Winkie off of here. But first, I'm gonna rate it. So here we go. I'll put on a song. Here is Long Cakes 4 from Patrick Swankins. Alright. So yeah. 5. I give it a 5 out of 10. I said I'd give it more than 5. I don't know. I just didn't really do it for me. You know, it was kind of boring. It could have been better. I don't know. I didn't love it. It was fine, I guess. 5 out of 10. That's what I'm feeling. Alright. There we go.